Hello there, friends. It's Miss Holmes here, coming to you from my happy place, my beautiful kindergarten classroom, room C2, right here at Jack London Elementary School, also known as home of the cutest little class in town. Before I read another October treat for you today, I'd like to remind you, friends, that I still need your help and your support. I need you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you could go ahead and just push that subscribe button right there below, it's completely free. And by doing that, you will help me so I can continue to record all these amazing stories and share them with lovers of literature everywhere, from littles to bigs alike. So thank you for your help, friends. Today's book I'm going to read to you is titled Substitute Creature. And this is written by Gall. And as you can see, if you look up close on the title here, the T in teacher has been crossed out and replaced with creature, because this is the substitute that comes to this classroom in this story. Now, before we open it up and start reading, remember, we always turn it over and we look for a sneak peek from the author. And yes, I see one. A monstrously fun classroom cautionary tale. Now, when I read this to my students this year, I asked them, do you know what a cautionary tale is? So it's a warning. I said, so there's going to be a lesson in this book, maybe more than one. So keep those listening ears open. What lessons do you learn by the end of this story? Attention, all scamps, all rascals and fools. For 49 years, I have visited schools. I've collected some tales whose lessons are grave, about boys and girls who didn't behave. They'll give you the goosebumps, they'll shiver your skin. Now pay strict attention. It's time we begin. Oh, let's read this together. Substitute Creature by Gall. And there's a little foreword here. It gives you a little sneak peek as to why a substitute creature comes to this classroom. Okay. Dearest students. Oh, this is the current teacher, Ms. Jenkins. I will be unable to teach our class due to a serious case of frazzled nerves. And then I asked my students, do you know what frazzled nerves are? And I said, well, I'll give you some ideas. Her class is obviously not behaving very well. They've thrown a peanut butter and jelly sandwich against the board. They've thrown a paper airplane and it's landed in her hair. They have written blah, blah, blah on the blackboard and other rude pictures. Oh, they left a half-eaten apple on her desk, just like that's the garbage dump. They've thrown paper. They've thrown pencils. Oh, they've even tied her shoe to the bottom of her desk. I can already see just from this picture some very naughty behavior has been going on inside this classroom. So let me continue her letter. I've asked a rather special someone to make sure you're all well taken care of while I'm gone. And I certainly wouldn't suggest playing any tricks on him. Have a happy Halloween and good luck. Signed, Ms. Jenkins. And here we see a picture of something. Oh, look at the shadow of what is coming to the school. Substitute Creature by Gall. On a windswept day in late October, the students of Miss Jenkins' class arrived to a surprise at school. Substitute teacher today, announced Peyton. Says on the board, substitute today. Amanda giggled and scribbled on the chalkboard, and Luke performed a circus act. Gavin laughed like a mad scientist. And then at precisely 8 o'clock, the door to the classroom creaked open, and the substitute entered the room. Oh, and look what you see coming through the door first. A tentacle. Good morning to all. My name's Mr. Creature. Miss Jenkins has asked me to step in as a teacher. She claims that this class has grown quite out of hand, so I'm here to warn you. We're taking a stand. Amanda snickered at the way he spoke. Gavin opened a fresh box of tacks. The creature glared. If you're plotting some mischief, please don't even try. In the back of my head, you'll find more than one eye. So he has the one giant eye in the front, and look at 3 more in the back. Wow. Luke drew an eye on his own forehead. Mr. Creature didn't think that was funny at all. Attention all scamps, all rascals and fools. For 49 years I've visited schools. I've collected some tales whose lessons are grave, about boys and girls who didn't behave. They'll give you the goosebumps, they'll shiver your skin. Now pay strict attention. It's time we begin. And then he pulled out a tattered file. First we meet Keith, a hungry young lad, snacking on glue was a habit he had. He ate so much glue, no amount was too much, that he started to stick to all he would touch. Oh my goodness. Soon no one could find the boy underneath all of the objects that stuck to poor Keith. Don't eat glue, friends. Peyton's huge backpack fell over and a dozen glue sticks rolled out. Mr. Creature looked very unhappy. Have you ever heard of Sarah? She crammed all of her stuff inside of her desk, but enough was enough. Oh, Sarah, the next case. Her desk was so full that it started to shake. It rattled and lurched like a minor earthquake. And then it blew itself into bits. Kids ran for their lives and the teachers threw fits. Oh, don't leave your desk such a mess. Next file is about Kylie. Amanda passed a note to Luke, but Mr. Creature snatched it from her hands. No passing notes during class. Kylie, the artist, was always the best at drawing when she should be taking a test. When a dragon she drew looked so real it blew smoke, the children suspected it might be a joke. But the dragon on paper then leapt from the page. It tore through the room in a flame-throwing rage. Don't draw pictures and doodles when you're supposed to be doing your work. Are you not yet convinced? Did I notice a yawn? In case you're in doubt, do let me go on. Listen up. Have you heard of the daydreamer Zach? His mind wandered off while he took out his snack. There's Zach. Oh, he's daydreaming. So he failed to see the open cage door, and he simply ignored the little tracks on the floor, leading up to his snack. And no one else noticed in time to say, freeze, that the sandwich he held was made of hamster and cheese. Don't daydream in class, friends. Luke jumped when he felt a nibble inside of his shirt pocket. Mr. Creature opened another file. Kate. Kate always carried her backpack with pride. It made a great place for her monkey to hide. Uh-oh. Now everyone knows that there are no pets allowed at school. And when her monkey escaped, it wreaked havoc at that school. Oh, of course. Oh, my goodness. And then all the children thought they all, too, should bring a pet. And soon the school was a mess, and it smelled like a zoo. So don't bring your pet to school, friends. Gavin quietly tied Amanda's shoelaces together. Mr. Creature scowled, and then he continued. The next case, Hank. Now, this impish fellow, whose nickname was Hank, like most little boys, loved to pull a good prank. He brought in a guppy to enliven the class. But in days it grew teeth that could chomp right through glass. Look at it now. Oh, my goodness. It wouldn't stop growing. Its skin became dark. Now, Hank really wished he had not brought in a shark. Again, no pets at school, friends. Mr. Creature paused and gazed upon the silent room, and then he reached into his case one last time. He pulls out the file of Chris. And last we have Chris, a mischievous sort with a fondness for thieving. I'm sad to report. It seems the poor boy liked to trick for his treats. He dressed up like a monster and he scared kids for their sweets. But then he stole candy from a magical gnome. And now the trick was on Chris because he could never go home. Oh. And when he took off his costume, Chris saw the gnome's curse. He had 7 green legs and something much worse. He took off his costume and he is that costume. He's a creature. Until he repaid his debt, a creature he would be. And by now you should know that monster was me. A note explained how for the rest of his days he'd have to teach other children about his wicked ways. That's his lesson now. This is what he is cursed to do. Cool, said Luke. I'm sorry, Mr. Creature, said Amanda. You're the best substitute we've ever had, said Gavin. Mr. Creature spied the clock on the wall. It all happened here, half a century ago, at this very school. I thought you should know. Goodbye and good luck. My time here is done. I leave you a gift, and for each of you, there is one. Oh, and he opens his hand. He has 1 candy treat for each. The students of Miss Jenkins' class thanked Mr. Creature for the candy, and they promised never to torment their teacher again. Good decision. Mr. Creature was gone. Outside, Mr. Creature looked in his case and saw that he had one last piece of the candy that he had stolen so many years ago. He just needed someone to give it to. And then he noticed a small old man who wore a funny, familiar hat. Mr. Creature quietly slipped the candy into the man's pocket. He returned that stolen candy to that magical gnome. As the substitute creature walked slowly down the windy street, he noticed a sweet smell in the autumn air. It was a smell he remembered from long ago. His tentacles tingled as the smell pulled him forward and the world started to spin around him. He began to run. He ran to a small house at the end of the street. He's transforming. The creature curse is being lifted. He's going back to being Chris. And there, his bike was still leaning by the step, and his dog was still waiting on the lawn. Everything was as if he'd never been gone. Chris was home, and he was just in time for a Halloween treat. Oh, that's what smelled so sweet. Some Halloween cookies were there, warm and waiting for him. Wow. Now, you don't see a shadow of a creature now. You see the shadow of a little boy again, Chris, riding his bicycle with his dog. Back home. Chris had to learn a hard lesson the hard way, friends. But he did, and he made it right. I hope you enjoyed Substitute Creature. And stay tuned. I have many more wonderful October treats coming up for you right here on Storytime with Miss Holmes.